Super Smash Brothers. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I love the Melee music. It's so good. But I want to give a shout out to my buddy Wyatt because he got me this, and I didn't tell him I was doing a Smash video or anything. It was just something he found and he thought of me, and I really appreciate that. But I'm also glad I delayed making this because I get to show off a cool prop, and it's super neat. But I have been thinking about Smash lately. Part of it is I've actually gotten back into playing it a bit with my friends, and it's really fun to revisit. And I had been seeing a few videos about, okay, like if I were to expand Ultimate's roster, this is how I do it. Or if I have to cut Ultimate's roster, this is how I do it. Which is what really got me thinking about it. So I wanted to make a video about cutting down Ultimate's roster for a new Smash game. And I was really torn about how to do it. Because at the start, I'm like, okay, well, let's look at the Mario series. Well, you can't cut Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser. Like, these are the icons of that franchise. And then you look at everyone else. Okay, Dr. Mario, he is a bit different. Some of it feels like kind of Melee Mario, but also some other differences. But, like, I think you could lose him. You could cut Piranha Plant, but I don't want to do that because I play Plant. This is one of my favorite characters in the game to play. I'm not going to cut him if I don't have to. And then Rose, well, this is like the Galaxy rep, and really like Galaxy. She has a cool play style. I like Rosalita, so I guess she's staying. And I like Bowser Jr. And even though he debuted in Sunshine, he almost kind of feels like more of the rep of like the new Super Mario Bros. Series. And that's been a lot of games. And like, you should have Bowser Jr. here. Well, shit, I'm not cutting anybody except Dr. Mario. So that's not really helping with slashing the roster. So I decided to do is I gave myself 3 rules. Rule number 1, the roster is 50. Veteran characters, newcomers, 50 total. Because when I look at Ultimate has 100 characters. I think Sora's number is like 83, 85, something like that. But when you look at all of the numbered fighters, Echo fighters, and unique skins like Alf, the Koopalings, and the Minecrafters, I don't know if that's what they're called, but I don't know what else to call them. The total number is 100. So I think just saying, okay, I'm slashing that number in half, including new characters, boom. Hard limit. The second limit was veteran characters, you get 2 per series. Which, in a sense, made things harder. Just because of like these are 2 like really strict limits, but also it made things a lot easier. Because when I look at the Mario series, I'm like, okay, well, as much as I love playing Plant, and I think Rose and Junior are neat, and I would like them to be here, if I only can add 2 characters, one is going to be Mario, and the other's not going to be one of these 3. Is it Luigi, Peach, or Bowser? A slight spoiler, but for me, I'm like, I feel like it almost has to be Bowser, like from my perspective. So that made cutting Mario really easy, and then going through him, I was like, okay, this is easier than I thought it would be. And then my last rule, which is regarding new characters, a series can go over 2, but you only can get 1 newcomer per series. So like with Mario, I can't add Waluigi, Gino, and then like add Peach or anything like that. It's, here's your 2, you get 1 more, and that's it. And if this is a completely new series being represented, you only get 1 character. So that all being said, I have 30 veteran characters, added 20 newcomers. Let's get into it. So going over my 30 vets, Mario and Bowser, DK, and K. Rool. I will go ahead and say, though, this one's a little weird because DK is a returning character. But I am heavily expecting him to get reworked, as this is more of like Donkey Kong and Pauline. And I'm like, do I include that as a veteran? Because it is, but it's also a newcomer at the same time. So I will go ahead and spoil like the first newcomer I have is Funky Kong. But Funky Kong essentially plays like old school DK, at least like old Smash DK. So let me go ahead and say that. But DK and K. Rool, Link, and Zelda, Fox and Falco, Samus, Kirby and Dee, so that's about a third of the list, that's number 11, Pikachu and Jigglypuff, Captain Falcon. That's all the series from the first game. I cut Ness, because I don't really like playing Ness. I don't like playing against Ness. I did cut Yoshi. To me, I know he has his own symbol, and he does have his own games, but I can't see... I see Yoshi as just another Mario character. I can't help that. And unfortunately, because I went with Bowser, I had to cut Luigi as well. So then moving into series that debuted in Melee, Marth, and the other Fire Emblem character I went with was Robin. Part of that is Awakening is such an important game in that series' history, and also I play Robin. Robin is one of my favorite characters in Smash to play, and is kind of the reason I've played Fire Emblem, is because of how much I love playing as Robin. So I had to go with them. I kind of considered Byleth. Before I put the hard rule of 2 per series, I was like, I do play a lot of Byleth. The idea of keeping Byleth, who people really hated, I think is just really funny to me. But went with Marth and Robin, and I also kept Mr. Game & Watch. So then character or series that debuted in Brawl, Pit, and I kept Palutena. This is where I'm a little iffy. Because at first I was like, I want to keep Wario, because Wario is he's so weird. He's such a freak, and I mean that in the best possible way, that I want to keep him. I'm like, if I can't unsee Yoshi, because I can unsee DK. To me, DK is just his own thing entirely. But like, if I can't unsee Yoshi, I know WarioWare is its own thing. Can I really unsee Wario? It's iffy. So if I can keep Wario, I will, but I'm also like, I think I could feasibly remove him for that reason and go with Pikmin and Olimar, because I don't have Olimar on the list otherwise. And honestly, I think I'm going to officially say I should keep Olimar instead. Then we have Rob. To me, Rob, because of like the whole Ancient Minister thing from Subspace, to me, Rob is the representative of Brawl, and I didn't have the heart to cut him. And then with Smash 4 debuts, that's Villager. I considered Isabelle instead, but I already cut Ness and Jose mains Ness and Villager. I can't cut them both. I will keep Villager over Isabelle. Little Mac. And that's it. And then series that debuted in Ultimate, Inkling, or Splatoon and Inkling, Min Min from ARMS. This is a character that debuted in Ultimate, but the series didn't, because I also have Pyra and Mithra, because I ultimately didn't, no pun intended, but I ultimately decided to cut Shulk, because the numbers were getting really tight. I could maybe, instead of like Palutena, maybe I'd keep Shulk instead, but I'm going to have someone from Xenoblade, and I really love Xenoblade 2, and I think Pyra and Mithra are really fun to play, so I kept Aegis in that slot instead. And then just for our third-party characters, I kept Sonic, Mega Man, and I kept our Smash ballot winners, Banjo-Kazooie and Sora. So then moving on to the 20 newcomers. Like I said, I had to start with Funky Kong. It's like, DK's its own weird thing, but I'm going to add Funky. I'm adding Marks, because I really, really want Marks to be playable in the next Smash game. And I was like, I feel bad not adding Bandana Waddle Dee. But if I had to cut Meta Knight, and we're not going to have all 4 of them be playable anyways, I don't feel as bad not adding him. I'm locking in Marks. Number 3 is Midna, specifically like with Wolf Link, because this is also a character I've wanted for a really long time. I kind of go back and forth about what my favorite 3D Zelda is, but I generally end up coming back to Twilight Princess, so that's the one I'd want to rep. Number 4, I just have Pokemon written. I don't have a specific character. And part of that is, I would just kind of assume like a Gen 10 starter, maybe a legendary is what's going to get added. I think personally I would want to add Victini, because Victini is one of my favorite Pokemon. I just think it'd be really cool, like a psychic fire type. I could see some like cool, like fun animations and like some grabs and shit. I just really want it to be added. It's the victory Pokemon. Come on, let him have his day. Let it have its victory in Smash. I also added Crystal. I've never played Star Fox Adventures, but like the assist trophy is neat. I can't think of a lot of characters that just straight up use a staff and I mean Robin uses magic, but like a staff and magic. Also, I played a lot of Assault, and then there's just that image of her holding a grenade, so I'm gonna throw a grenade in her moveset too, and I think that'd be pretty cool. I did go ahead and add Geno. This is a character people have wanted for a really long time. It'd be an interesting combination of Mario characters. You get Mario, you get Bowser, and now Geno, so sorry Peach, we're not completing that, I was going to say trifecta. I was like, well, it's not. There's 4 of them, and I don't know what the 4-person term for that is. Parallelogram? I don't know. We're not completing that 4-person party, unfortunately, but I guess we're not completing that full party because Mallow's not here either. But I wanted to add Geno. Now we get to our Xeno character, and I so badly wanted to add Noah and Mio. And I think if a new Smash game is being added, or is being made, Noah and Mio are probably going to be in it. Whether it is one of them or it's like a... Okay, so whether it's one character, it's like an Ice Climber sort of thing, or it's like a Pyron Mithra thing where you can switch between them, it would not surprise me. But if I can only add one Xeno character, and technically, this is a different series, so maybe I could add both of them and it would be fine. I'm like, look, if I don't think I can, in good faith, add Yoshi and Wario with these rules, I don't think I can add someone from Xenoblade and then add someone from Xenosaga. So I'm going with Cosmos. I really like Xenosaga. I think Cosmos has a lot of moveset potential. Like, she got a sword, she got a drill, she got a gun. She got a lot of different stuff. Also, I can't wait to see her... Number one, I can't wait to see her trailer. I think it'd be incredible. I've talked about it before. It would just be that scene where Cosmos wakes up and it's just scanning everybody. And it's like a very Terminator vibe to it. I think it'd be amazing for a trailer. But also, I really want to see her victory pose where she says the, like, goofy... What is the line? It's like, Shion, my appearance is down 5%. I require cleaning. Like, as you know that's going to be in the game. And it'd just be so freaking funny. So that's that. And then moving on to just, like, pure third-party characters. And, you know, Geno and Cosmos are, but they have some Nintendo-y ties. I have Estelle from Trails in the Sky, because of course I have Estelle from Trails in the Sky. Because of course this is the character I would want most. Even more than Marks. Right after that, I have Monokuma, because I love Danganronpa, and I think Monokuma would have a really, really fun moveset. So number 10, halfway down the list of newcomers, a Senran Kagura character. Because you know what? I played JJNW'S, like, gosh, I think it was like a decade ago. How time flies, man. But I played it about a decade ago, and I thought the game was a blast. I thought it was really fun. I thought the story was a lot more interesting than I thought it would be, because for something that I thought was just going to be silly, goofy fan service, and it is, there's a really interesting story here about grief. It's like there's maybe more to this series than I thought there was, and then I played Peach Beach under that assumption. I was like, okay, this is what I thought I was going to be getting. But I did want to add a Senran character because of just how much I really love JJNW'S. So I decided I'm going to have 3 restrictions on how to decide who's going to get in. Number 1, it should be a character that was in that game, or at the very least in the main series. So anyone from the, like, spin-offs don't count. Number 2, I want a character that has a unique weapon. So, like, Miyabi, who just uses a freaking sword. Like, I'm sorry, you're not getting in, because we have, even with the reduced roster, we still have some sword characters. And number 3, they have to have a more, like, conservative attire. Because it's something Sakurai had said. He's like, the reason Mai is not in this game at all is just because of the censorship required. And I don't really want to go through that. It's enough just having characters wear a skirt, because then they're like, oh, well, you can look under them and you can see their underwear, and it's just not worth the headache. So like, okay, character who appears in main games, has a cool weapon, and a more conservative attire. Can I do this? And I think Murasaki fits all of those. And what do you know? She's also my favorite Senran Kagura character. There is some bias afoot. But I think she can actually be really cool. Like, I know Peach isn't in the game, but with Bebe, you can essentially still have the, like, toad ability, and I think that's really fun. And I don't think she can really glide, but because if I remember correctly, her weapon, she has like these rings, and I think she uses them with her hair. So you can have some fun character animations, like her recovery. I don't know, maybe she's just like freaking like helicopter hair, and she's just spinning that shit. And maybe she can kind of glide. I don't know. Like I don't just want to turn her into Peach, but you can throw some Peach in there, and I think that's kind of neat. After that, I have Eve from Stellar Blade, because you know what? I freaking love that game. I played it last year, and I'm still talking about it because I had so much fun. And just a couple nights ago, Stellar Blade 2 got announced, and I'm so excited. It looks so dang fun. I'm like, bruh, they took out the sword, and now you just punch people. This is a 10 out of 10 game already. I am so excited for Stellar Blade Blood Rain. So, of course, I'm throwing a Stellar Blade character in there. I'm sticking with Eve, because I haven't played Blood Rain yet. But if Blood Rain ends up being more fun, because I think Eve has like a whole Smash moveset, just that could be pretty easily translated. But if Eevee has one too, and she's more fun to play, I might go with her instead, but I'm going to stick with Eve. Number 12, I have my girl Peacock, because I love Skullgirls. Skullgirls is what really got me into playing other fighting games, which I've said before I've kind of fallen off of, but I would like to get back into that. I do want to check out that Avatar game. I don't know if it's officially out yet. If not, it should be soon. But this is the game that got me into it, and Peacock is the character that got me into Skullgirls, because this is just a straight-up cartoon character doing cartoon character goofiness. I saw this, like, I want to know everything about this character and everything about this game. She's not even my main in Skullgirls, but I still think she's really cool. Number 13... have a Final Fantasy character. I thought about it for a while. I was like, okay, would I want to add someone else from 7? And ultimately I cut Cloud, so the answer to that was no. Thought a lot about Terra, because I really love Final Fantasy VI. I thought a bit about Yuna, and I was really, really close to adding Lightning. Because I think this is also how she plays in Dissidia, where she can just essentially change her class. I see Lightning as like a stance fighter who can change between different classes, which would make a really cool freaking moveset. And I'm still like, I still kind of really want to add Lightning because of that. And I really want her to be a boss in Kingdom Hearts, because I think that shit would be so cool. I went with Vivi. I have my problems with Final Fantasy IX. Vivi is not one of them. My understanding is that Vivi is just one of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise. And from the few games I've played, yeah, he definitely is for me. But why I ultimately went with Vivi is because when I was thinking about Yuna, I was like, okay, so like a summoner is kind of neat. I feel like you would probably maybe work her as like a kind of a mage as well, like a black mage. I was like, oh, well, it's Final Fantasy, just add the black mage. That's a really iconic design, and even though it's a class, like it's still kind of a character. I was like, well, I think Super Smash Flash did have the black mage, and I played that character, and that was really fun. You know, if you go with Vivi, you're essentially adding the Final Fantasy black mage, but still adding a character. Okay. Sorry, Lightning. I think I gotta go with Vivi here. And then 14, I will also say, there really wasn't a particular order. It was just kind of as things came to mind when I was doing these. Or at least with the newcomers. With the old characters, I was kind of trying to do them in series order. But so number 14 is my boy Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. I've been wanting him in Smash for a really long time. I think he would work incredibly well. Number 15. I want to add a Fate character, man. I love me some Fate. I think the VN is fantastic. I had a lot of fun with Fate Go. Like, all right. Is it just Saber? Can we do someone else? And I don't mean that with any disrespect towards Saber. I'm just like, who else could feasibly work? I think MASH could work, specifically as the rep for Fate Go. I don't think Archer is a bad pick. I think Gil could be a pretty fun character. Them just throwing shit at people. Like, his specials would probably be the different weapons or, like, the angles that he throws stuff. His recovery might be, like, the ship he had in Fate Zero, which would be really funny. And he probably has, like, the chains as well. Whether that's a special or that's, like, his grab, like, he has a tether. Of course, I want to add Tamamo. Tamamo is my girl. I freaking love Tamamo. But, if I'm being honest, if you're adding a Fate character, you're adding Saber. And I think because, well, number one, I think you can also have some fun with her skins. Like, oh, here's a pink Saber. This is very much meant to be more like Okita. Oh, here's a red Saber. This is Nero, or it's Mordred. You could probably do both. Here's her wearing, like, Jean's colors, because it's similar face, but still a little different, but similar face. Like, you can do a lot with her skins. You're definitely adding Salter in that regard. But ultimately, because there's different Artorias and different classes, if you combine those, like, okay, like, primarily she's using Excalibur, but you can also throw in her spear because there's Lancer Sabers. You could give her the water guns from Archer Saber. You give her the bike from Fate Zero. It's like, love that freaking bike. It's like, okay. Saber has a surprisingly vast moveset if you look at her like that. And I think if so, you've got to add her. If not, and you're just trying to keep it Artoria and the sword, I'd maybe rather go with MASH just to be a more unique character than low-look anime person with sword. And I say that as someone who absolutely loves Saber. After that, Reimu from Toho, because I do love me some Toho, and I love me some Toho music. After that, I have Dante from Devil May Cry. Now featuring Dante from Devil May Cry, because I have a friend who loves Devil May Cry 5. It's one of his favorite games ever. Like, all right, I'm going to put Dante in here for him. 18, I have the Doom Slayer, because Doom is freaking cool. I don't play Doom, but I love like, watching Doom, because it's awesome. 19, I threw in Rayman. And then 20 was I wanted to have a Sony character, which I technically have with my girl Eve, but I wasn't adding Eve to add a Sony character. I was adding Eve because I love Stellar Blade. And I'm like, okay, if I'm adding a Sony character, I mean, Crash and Spyro aren't really Sony anymore, so unfortunately they don't count. Kratos, Nathan Drake. I'm going to add Ratchet and Clank. I think they, like, aesthetically kind of fit in with Smash really well. And just with all the different weapons that they have, there's potential for a really fun moveset. So that is what I ultimately did. Again, no pun intended. But that's what I decided to do. This is how this was my rule. 30 recurring characters, 2 per series. 20 new character, 1 new character per series, whether it's a new series or not. That is my 50. I wanted to get this out pretty soon because I am expecting a Nintendo Direct this week because it's June. We usually get a June Direct. And there's a chance we'll see a new Smash game. I don't know. But I at least wanted to get this in before the new Smash game is revealed. If it is revealed, I have no idea. There is a strong non-zero chance we will get a June Direct in the next few days, and there will be no mention of Smash. But just in case there was, I didn't want to make a video and have that influence me in any way. So, there's that. Had some fun with this. Yeah, I think that's it. See you.